tell somebody that I've got a problem. But I can't open up and be honest with you, because if I tell you the truth about what I'm going through, you're going to judge me. And isn't it funny that most of the times the people who are judging you should be judged themselves? The people who are talking about you are the very ones who are so totally out of God's will. But when they catch you in the fault, the tendency is to judge you because they feel better about themselves when your life is out of control. Oh, I came to talk to some young people today. And so there is no recovery. There's no recovery. Deacons, you can be released. There is no recovery, and the reason there is no recovery is because we don't understand that any mortal that's moving into recovery is moving into recovery from reprobacy. And between reprobacy and recovery, there's always relapse. You're going to have to learn how to deal with the madness that exists in your life. And the reason the madness exists is because you were born into reprobacy. Anybody who was born into the flesh was born with a conscience that was not submitted to God. All of us were sinners, and all of us have an appetite for ungodliness. And I know you're going to lie to me and say, I love the Lord, He heard my cry. But, Jesus, if I could just be a fly on the wall in your house, I would know that you have some real issues. And the Lord has continuously covered you to bless you because He called you to do His bidding. It has been God then who has backed me since the days of my reprobacy. And reprobacy is simply meaning that you have been turned over to yourselves. It is until Jesus comes that grace now offsets the reprobacy to bring us into recovery. But in the process of reprobacy to recovery, the relapse has to be introduced. Because no matter how strong you are right now, eventually you're going to experience the relapse. Something in you is going to matriculate, and once it matriculates, it's either going to make you stronger or it's going to tear you all the way down. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been there? When you relapse into things contrary to the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I know you are anointed, I know you're called, but the reality is they that live godly shall suffer persecution. And the reality is that man born of a woman is of a few days, but those few days are full of trouble. Now, I want you to focus more personally on yourself. I want you to focus more personally on you, because you know you better than anybody else does. And if you know your tendencies and you know your blemishes and your proclivities, when you come into the house of the Lord and lift up your hands and still believe that you're saved with your lying self, you ought to give your brother and your sister the same privilege, because the same thing you struggle with is inculcated into the nature of your brother and your sister. I might not be a fornicator, but I'm a liar, you see. I might not work around in manipulation, but I'm struggling somewhere in my flesh. I mean, the man at the bus stop who wouldn't move over the other day, had the Lord not grabbed me, I would have spoke some stuff to him that was not so sanctified. Shake your neighbor's hand real good and say, neighbor, you are processing from where you were to where you are to where you're going. And it's the junk of your past that makes your presence so unbearable.